It's the man YSN, and you're listening to YSN Radio. Yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir. I know what time it is, man. They're rocking with the man YSN, and you're tuning into the episode of YSN Radio, the coolest podcast in the South, man. Got a very special guest in the building with me right now. One of the funniest comedians in East Tennessee, Knoxville, the South in general. It's the coolest podcast in the South. Gotta get the funniest lady in the South, man. We got the one and only Miss Brandi Augustus in the building. How you doing today?
I'm doing absolutely fantastic. Thank you for having me.
No problem at all. No problem at all. It's been a journey getting all, everything put together, but hey, we made it. We made it.
It was light outside when we started.
Exactly. Exactly. So, boom. How's your holiday season, man? I see you just got off tour. How did it go?
That was amazing. So I did a 3-city tour. It was 5 days. So I did Huntsville, Alabama, doing Catacombs and Comedians, and then I did I ended up headlining in Atlanta. It wasn't supposed to be that way, but yeah, it worked out that way. Shout out to Shonik. And then I did 3 days in Indiana with closing out doing Helium. And that was my first time ever doing a Helium comedy club.
Gotcha. So what's it like being on the road?
It's fun. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of driving, and it does not pay that well.
Really?
And yeah, people think that like, oh, Brandi always on the road. She always got a show every weekend or whatever. I'm like, yeah, I'm getting paid in chicken tenders though. Like, yeah.
Oh shit.
You gotta understand the balance.
So like, I know because especially as a DJ too, going on the road, it looks real cool, but not a lot of people understand the vigors of the behind the scenes of the grind of show business. So like in the comedy world, what is the grind like?
Doing what I'm doing, getting out there, hitting the road, trying to get in front of as many people as possible to try and get your next show booked. Because you never know what audience, like who's going to be in there, who's going to see you. Like, that's why I also do a lot of festivals. I get a lot of major bookings from my festivals. Okay. Every club that I've done has been from a festival outside of Shelly Belly, who we actually did a show in Gatlinburg together. And she liked me so much that she had me host for her at Zany's when she did that.
Oh, wow. And Zany's is a big deal.
Zany's is a big deal. And that was my very first club ever. So I absolutely love that. But yeah, it's just like being out there on the road, doing your best to try and get booked. And hopefully people pay you. I got a rate now.
Hopefully people.
Yeah, hopefully. Nah, because then there's sometimes that there is... I'm not going to say her name or his name, but there are two major comedians in the game right now that are kind of beefing because she did his club. They're not beefing, but there's some unfair practices going on. She did his club. I think she did like 2 nights or whatever. And he still hasn't paid her. And he owns this club. Oh, it is his club, but he's a big comedian too. So I'm like, damn... That's what I gotta look forward to. I'm dealing with that shit now. Like,
it never ends.
I'm doing breweries,
It never ends. Nah, facts. So you say you have a rate now. What's the difference? Like what made you set a rate? Like, what was that process?
People asking me what my rate is when they booking me, and I was doing that. What's your budget thing? We joked about that before we were rolling, and it was like, well, what's your budget?
It's like a standoff.
Yeah, it is. It is, and I got tired of that because people will undercut you, and you know what your worth is. So it's like the comedy standard for people in my bracket. To charge $10 a minute. Okay. And I think that's fair. And I think that if everybody keeps with that, that shows the industry like, oh, we ain't playing games. We can't pay them in chicken tenders. Like, we going to have to pay them at least $300 if we want a half an hour. So.
No, facts. And that's a great point you made. You feel me? Paying in chicken tenders is crazy. You feel me? Because I ate before I came.
Yeah. Okay. I'm actually gluten-free and I can't do this breading. Like,
exactly. Like, thank you, but, I need some money. You feel me? No, it's the same way with the DJing coach. You feel me? People want you to come out, play for 8, 6, 7 hours, and for a handshake and a thank you.
The exposure.
Exposure. I mean, you think I'm gonna go to KB? He was like, hey, I ain't got no money, but I can exposure.
Look at this.
Don't cut my shit off.
Showing my TikTok.
Exactly. I got all these numbers, man. Nah, bro. People, you definitely got to stand on business because, especially when you're working with niggas, man. Niggas are cheap.
Niggas are cheap. But like, white men be cheaper than the niggas sometimes. sometimes
Really?
because they will. I'm not gonna say that word, but if Kanye was here, he would say it. But
Yeah, please don't say that.
no, but like they will really try and like play with you. They will play in your face or whatever. And I realized, so it's not just like niggas or white people, whatever. For me specifically, it's been men. Women pay me. Women actually go out of their way to pay me, but I think that's because they understand what I go through.
Right.
You know, like they've been in this game for a while. So, but the men are like really playing your face, and I am learning how to most effectively stand up to it and challenge that when sometimes like I really just want to wild out and fulfill that angry black woman stereotype that they already have about me.
Right.
Like, well, let's get it. Like, you know,
right. Like you being a single mom, you've been you know how to stand on business. So what's the issue?
Because sometimes it's like, am I being played? How much did they pay you? Like it takes me to have a lot of conversations with other comedians to realize that I'm being played, that people are like really just trying to short me. And then when that happens, it's like, okay, now how do I approach this? So one situation happened and it was so messed up because I was looking forward to these shows. It was the first time I had did shows in my home city. I've never done comedy in Cincinnati before, and I got in these 4 shows. The headliner, he got me on it. One of the funniest dudes in the like country right now, and I was like, bet. So I was hyped for the show. Got my family to come out. Friends and family came out to all 4 shows.
Wow! And
they said the people who were running the show, they was like, this is the most black people we've ever seen at any of our shows. Bet. So why they ain't pay me for the first show? And somebody had to say something to them, or they didn't pay me for the first night, so I didn't get paid for the first 2 shows. But they paid me for the second night and the second to the last 2 shows or whatever. But it was after somebody else said something like, hey, her information wasn't on the email and all this stuff or whatever. And then they were like, well, she did bring out a lot of people or whatever. Right. So I felt like they had to have a group huddle. But it wasn't coming out of their pocket.
Right.
This is for a bigger organization. So I was like, why y'all do that? Y'all ain't have to do that. Exactly. Y'all chose to do that.
Right.
That sucks.
There's a lot of stuff going on. It happens behind the scenes, man, especially when it comes to your money, man. Yeah. You know, you definitely got to stand on these promoters for real because they'll try to get over on you, man. Yeah. And it seems like in all aspects of the game.
Janky promoters. That was a movie. Like, it wasn't a great movie.
It was a movie, though.
It was a movie for a reason.
The funny part about janky promoters was they did not learn their lesson. No. They didn't learn their lesson at all. They jumped on stage for Jeezy at the end like they actually did something. Like but so let's take it back to the beginning. You said you came from Cincinnati, because able to go back home and do some comedy in your hometown. So talk about like your beginning in Cincinnati. You said you're from New Jersey as well. Talk about that process growing up there and coming to East Tennessee.
So I was born in Plainfield, New Jersey, and I moved to Cincinnati when I was 5, and I lived there for like all of that time until I was like 22. So like I was really raised. I found my bearings in Cincinnati, and that was also the place where I did not think that I was going to live past 25. Wow. I did not see a life for me past 25. I did not know that it was like a life in Cincinnati that I couldn't see, but just in me, I was like, I don't know what 25 looks like for me. Right. So at like 22, I ended up moving to Little Rock, Arkansas, and I was there for 2 years and experienced a series of unfortunate events that didn't involve a nigga. Happens. Builds character. It builds character, added to the plot. Yeah. Like I did it for the plot for sure. And then ended up in Knoxville.
Gotcha. So like, what was like getting onto the comedy scene out here?
So I started doing poetry first. I had always been a poet. I had always written poetry, but I never was one to share my poetry because it was just so sad and downtrodden because I lived a hard life. Right. But my unofficial best friend, my homie, Black Atticus, was hosting this thing called Po Boys and Poets, and he asked me to be the host for it for a stint. And I was doing it, and it was fine. It was good, but we were very, very poor about promoting it. So we would not get a lot of poets to come out, and it was an open mic. So we would have like this 2.5 hours or whatever at Pilot Light that we would have to fill with something. Right. You know, and Atticus, while he is a phenomenal poet, he can't always remember his shit. So it's like, he's up there. And that's what it is. Yeah. Okay. So I just started sharing stories about my life because I was not going to share my poetry. Right. But I just started sharing stories, things that had happened in the day. These fuck niggas be fuck niggas. Like, you know. And the audience, the little audience that we had, they liked it. And Atticus was like, man, you funny as hell, man. You could be a comedian. And I was like, for real?
Yeah.
And he was like, nah, for real. You could be a comedian. So I asked him if I could use that time, that space intentionally to figure out what that meant for me.
Right.
And he gave me the grace to do that. And then I also started hitting open mics, started hitting Brickyard, started hitting Scruffy City, and figuring out what like joke writing looks like. More importantly, I figured out what I did not want my jokes to look like.
Right.
Because like going to open mics is a very hard process.
Yeah.
And when you are first starting out, it can be like very exciting because you're seeing other comedians of all different levels. But you go to enough open mics and you see enough of the same comedian telling the same joke and you're like, I never want to do that.
Yeah.
You know? So it really helped me like,
right.
That's not what I want to do. I
Facts.
don't want to do that.
So what was that grind like doing the open mic? Because I know it's a very humbling experience. Working out material, and especially just starting, you feel me, people either just staring at you not laughing, or I don't know if you ever got booed before, or hopefully not, but like I know the come up experience for comedians is the most humbling part of the grind. So what was your come up like?
I've never been booed.
Knock on some wood.
My God. I've walked a few people. People who have not liked my shit and just got up and walked out. Oh, it happened recently too.
Oh shit.
Oh, black people are the hardest people to make laugh.
Niggas, I tell you.
Oh my God, I did a private event and I was like, that was the most humbling experience.
Oh, a private event too?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Wait a minute. And the people who booked me for it, they saw me at like a show where I do my raunchy, like my dirtiest sets or whatever. So they're like, oh, we want to have you for his birthday party. You need to come to his birthday party. I'm like, bet, I'm going to do the same set. And they're like, yes. I'm like, okay, cool. Right. I know what I got to do. And I get there, and it's a church group. Oh. It's the birthday party, but it's mainly all church group people. Yeah, like, they set and you I'm up. Like, I'm talking about sucking dick. I'm talking about eating ass. I'm talking And as soon as I got to the ass eating, this fly ass couple looked like Mary J. Blige. Like, got up, she put her hat back on and walked out. Like, that's when they drew the line.
I can deal with sucking dick, but you guys, no.
And hell no. I went right before dinner, and when I got done, I was apologizing the whole way through. I'm like, y'all are gonna hate this, but I'm gonna commit to it. So I'm gonna scoop this little motherfucker up like, oh man. So I get my microphone like back to the DJ, and I go and sit down and like hang my head in shame. And then you hear, all right, now as we get prepared for half dinner, let's have the pastor bless the food. And the pastor sitting right in front of me the whole time. Didn't even know that was the pastor. He gets up and he says a prayer. And at the end of the prayer, he goes, and Lord, we're going to pray for all the entertainment. All the entertainers that came out tonight. Shit. It was me and Dynamic Ray. So
oh, shit. Oh, man.
Yeah, so that was one of the hardest experiences I've had. Thankfully, I'm much further in my career because I feel like if that would have happened early on, I wouldn't have been a comedian. Yeah, back to poetry, I go.
Thank you. That's all I needed. Thank you very much. I feel you. No, Bill Burr on his podcast, he always talks about how the private events are the worst.
Yeah.
Because, it's usually the person who books you that likes you. Everyone else is just there for whatever the event is. So you're walking in with the deck stacked against you as it is. Versus if you're at the club, people who are there to hear some jokes.
And you already got paid.
Exactly.
That's normally the thing.
And that's the thing, you can't back out of it because he literally says the same thing. You feel me? They pay you. You come out because the person who's booking you is super excited about having you there, and you get there and it's like a fucking funeral or something. Yeah. A bunch of people who's not there to hear jokes, and oh man, I can only imagine.
Yeah.
Oh man, but like I'm sure that happening, like experience like those builds character, just like anything else in life. So what are getting those bumps and bruises? How has that made you a better comedian?
Oh, you learn from it. Thankfully, I don't drink anymore. I feel like if I was still drinking, I wouldn't learn from these experiences. Right. I would just chalk it up to, I just had a bad night. But what that specific instance taught me was, like, I need to rely more on my crowd work. I'm really good at crowd work.
Right.
And when my bits aren't going, if I know that my bits aren't going to hit, when you can feel it in the room and then you start it and they not hitting, stop.
Right.
You control it. Like, who gonna tell me that I'm doing something wrong? When I make the rules right now, everybody is listening to me. Say some other shit, Brandi. Like, you ain't gotta do that. You ain't gotta tell them y'all are gonna hate this and then give them something that they're gonna hate.
Right.
Like,
That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. So I hope to gain like that thought process, that learning from every bad experience.
Right.
You know?
I got you. You were talking about earlier how when your poetry days you were drawing from personal experience, talking about things that happen in your day, things that happen in your life. So what does that add in that personal touch to your comedy? How does that set you apart from other people?
I think that, not saying that like I'm a extremely unique person because I've experienced a lot of things that other people have, but I think that just within the way that I share it, what I say, that is what like kind of sets me apart. And the fact that I'll talk about those things.
Right.
There are sometimes that it's the little things that stick with you sometimes. I had this bit that I was working on, like, I do not have the best breast. And I often talk about how awful my titties are. So,
wow.
I had one where I was like, my areolas are so big.
What?
If I lay down, they look like a saucer. Like you set a little teacup on it, you get a little biscotti, you have a snack. Right?
Oh shit!
And that was just like a one-off. Like, I just said that because I was bullshitting on stage. But then I got off stage, and this lady ran up to me. She was like, "My areola is so big." She was like, "I hate my titties." I was like, "Solidarity." I don't know.
The bad titty committee.
Like, honestly, like, we are raised in the air with porn, with all these perky breast stuff or whatever. Literally, I gotta scoop my shit up into the bra. All right, the fuck, pick that. All right, we good. I told this lady one time that I was gonna slap her with my titty from the stage. It was a mess.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Damn, that's hilarious. That's hilarious. No, I feel like self-deprecating humor is like the funniest thing because I feel like, especially growing up, everyone has gotten roasted at some point in their life. You feel me? And being able to take your flaws and insecurities and like own up to them and make them funny, you just take the bullets out of everybody's gun. That's why I love fat comedians. Like, no, I swear to God. No, Lavelle Crawford, Bruce, Ralphie May, Earthquake, all fat niggas. You feel me? And they are hilarious. Yeah. Like dead ass. Like literally. I want to hear some fat comedy today. Fat people are hilarious. And because they get up there and dead ass, bro, they get up there, bro, like all that, they have so much funny ass shit about how fat they are, and it's like, wow, they saying what everyone's thinking.
Shit that people don't be thinking about.
Exactly.
I had this whole bit on how chairs are my enemy.
Yeah. Wow.
Like, well, because like you probably have never had this problem before, but have you ever sat down in a chair and then that bitch deceive you and go out? Like you end up on the floor? Yeah, no. So I treat chairs like I treat men. Like it's every chair. No chair is safe until all chairs are safe.
Right.
Okay, just like men.
Understandable. Oh man, so like you talk a lot about being a mom in your comedy. So like, how do your kids feel about your jokes?
Oh, my youngest son hates it. And I told him when he become a better nigga, I'll stop talking about him.
Stop giving me material.
Yeah, like that ass. He's 16. I'm raising a YN. Like, Oh shit.
Now we know where they come from.
God damn, I'm trying not to. That's why I bought him a PS5 to keep him off the streets. You know?
Oh like, shit. Did it work?
Virtually kill people. Don't kill them for real.
God
like,
damn.
Yeah, no, he's been good this last year. Like it's been straight. Or his freshman year in high school, his PS5 broke. And so he was in the streets lying to me, talking about he was playing football. And I should have known the nigga was lying because he light skinned. Okay. Let me explain.
Damn.
He tried to play football 2 other times. The first time he quit because he got hit. First time he got hit, got knocked back to the like 5 yards or whatever. He quit at halftime. I don't want to do this shit no more. Good. It's hot out here. Let's go get some ice cream. You know. Right. Second time he quit was because he was he kept saying he wanted to be a quarterback. I was like, you can't just be a quarterback. You got to earn that. Right. And he was like, well, okay, I want to be an offensive lineman. My son is built like you.
Oh shit!
And I was like, baby, that's not what we're doing.
It's not happening.
They made him a wide receiver.
He looks like one.
He ain't want to be a wide receiver. He was like, because now people gunning to hit me.
Right.
I'm not the hitter.
He's
I'm
a target.
the hittee. Yeah. So he quit. That was the second time he quit. So he tells me after his PS5 breaks, and I still got the text messages. Every day he texts me, hey, I'm going to practice. We got football or whatever. And I'm asking him just basic questions. What's your position?
I'm the kicker.
Where's your game? When's the, all this shit or whatever. And he's never given me a direct answer. Mm-hmm. So because I'm a millennial gentle parent, yes. Mm-hmm. But I also was raised by a nigga. Right. So I checked his phone. Mm-hmm. And saw that he was in a place where he was on the block. Told me, what he did was he lied to me like I don't know the hood.
Yeah.
So he told me that he was going down to play football at the field by Vine. Mm. What field is there by Vine?
They got a field back there.
Yeah.
It's got a track and everything. Don't ask me how I know, but I know.
Not at Vine. No, at Vine.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not by Vine. He was telling me that he was on not Dandridge, but off of that or whatever. And I was like, I don't think that there's any fields down there. So I kept calling him and he didn't answer his phone. So then I GPS located him and he down in the hood.
Oh, you snatched him off the block in front of the set?
Oh man, I didn't even say anything. I just pulled up and he saw me. And I unlocked the door, and he turned to his homie, all right.
Damn.
And then there was some little girls around the corner that he tried to say bye to, but they couldn't walk over to. As soon as he got in the car and we drove off, I was like, why are you lying to me? He was like, we did go to practice. And I said, well, what's going on with your phone? Why you ain't answer? He was like, oh, I don't know. There's something about a VPN. Nigga, why you got a VPN on your phone? Nigga, the Sprint.
Hell no.
So the next day, he texted me, and he was like, hey, I got practice again. So I immediately GPS located him, and he was at the hood. And no, I could not locate him. There was something going on with his phone, he put it on airplane mode or whatever. So I just went back to the hood. He was in the hood again
on the block.
Yeah, trying to smoke weed, trying to get his dick wet.
Wow, that
was all it was.
So he's not here hitting licks. He's just trying to get some hoes.
He was just trying to get some hoes, nigga. So I got a bit about this, but
I was going to ask you about that one too.
Yeah. So when I picked him up the second time, I took his phone from him and I checked his phone. And I'm looking for stuff, and I found some pretty incriminating shit. And I was like, damn, you a YN for real.
Wow.
Okay. But then I was like, I started checking his text messages, and he had this one message that he had sent to multiple girls. And this motherfucker said, hey girl, you want to come and let me butter that pancake?
No way.
I'm like, so not only is this nigga a liar, he lame as hell too. I'm raising the lamest light-skinned nigga. I'm raising Drake. Drake. Oh, fucking Aubrey Graham ass nigga.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. You know what? Here's the thing about that, because, I feel like, how old is he?
16.
He's supposed to, you're supposed to go do that.
Yeah, no, I get it.
You're supposed to go do that, you feel me? I think about shit I was saying to the hoes when I was 14, 15, man. I would never in my life say some of that shit again. You feel me? But, you gotta, it's a training center, you know what I mean?
It's a training center.
It's the training center, you know what I mean? You gotta build up from that, you feel me? But, at least he's 15, 16 saying dumb shit like that and not 19, 20.
Oh, my God. No. I'm out here dating. These niggas is in their 30s still saying some bullshit.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
What's dating like what's dating like as a single mom in your 30s?
Oh, in Tennessee, in East Tennessee, as a black woman who prefers to date black men? But black men don't be checking for black women in East Tennessee. You want to know what that struggle is like?
Yeah.
Lonely.
I
started dating white men.
Started dating white men?
I dated my first white man recently.
How did that go?
It ended.
It ended. Why?
No, okay. So, to be 100% honest, we were ethically non-monogamous, and it was he initiated that. But I had been in multiple ethically non-monogamous relationships before, willingly and unwillingly.
Pause. When you say ethically non-monogamous, poly relationships?
Poly relationships.
That's some white people shit right there.
That is some white. That's how you know I was dating a white man, right? Because niggas just cheat.
And you fell for it. All the times you been cheating on your life, you just gonna let a nigga do it? You gonna give him permission?
The last guy I dated, he was a black man, or he is a black man still.
Niggas dating Michael Jackson.
he had a girl or whatever, and like I understood the situation. I knew his girl, and I talked to them both or whatever. So we wouldn't date. Oh God, this is I didn't say no names. He would just go down on me. So we never like really dated or whatever. And we would get together. We would, very much.
Get my pussy real quick. Take off.
I mean, mama got knees too.
Hey.
So I had been in relationships like that before, but this is the first time like it was intentional. And like had been together for a while, and he lived down in Atlanta. He came up to see me recently. This was like Thanksgiving, right after Thanksgiving. And we're talking, and he's telling me about his other partner, some shit I did not give a fuck about. And then he was like, well, are you dating, or how's that going for you? And I was like, well, I am. I was like, but my goal is to really be with somebody that I can like establish something that's more substantial than what we have. Like, I like what we have. It's fun. I really enjoy spending time with you. But I do want something that's a little bit more traditional, but I enjoy us being together. So like we have that conversation, and then 2 days later he texts me like, I don't think that we should be together because I feel like I know what you want and I can see myself trying to be that for you, and that's not what I want. I'm like, Nick, nobody asked you that. Nobody asked you to become that person. I know. He liked me, but whatever.
I feel like after a certain age, you would think the game stopped.
No, well, his specific situation was he was married and I'm married and divorced. I got divorced in 2018. Well, I got separated in 2018, actually divorced in 2020. Right. But he was recently divorced and then out of a long-term relationship, and that's where we differentiated because I haven't been in a relationship since my divorce. So I just been out, and I didn't want to date until recently. Right. So I was like all into this shit, and he had gotten divorced and then got into a long-term relationship that didn't work out. So now he's like, well, I want to be like E&M, and I want to like, play around. You want to be a hoe, just go and be a hoe then. Like, do that. But don't bring me into it.
Is there a market for middle-aged hoes?
Yes. What do you mean? It's a market. And wait a minute. 30 is middle age. What the fuck?
I'm sorry. Wait. I'm sorry. I didn't. But I'm saying like I'm 26. I'm mid 20s. So like the average lifespan is like 70, 75. It's like 35. 30.
Okay,
late,
I hear
late
what you're
30s,
saying.
early 40s.
I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying.
Is there a market for hoes in that age range?
Very much so. Because have you seen the options out here? Like, I would much rather like fuck my way into a good relationship than having to like good morning somebody every day. Like, and it sounds very skewed, but like I'm at the point in my life where I know I was in a sexless marriage.
Oh my God.
I did not have my first orgasm until after I had both my children.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so I am in a stage, I'm at a point in my life right now where I'm like, I know
You've been tortured your entire life.
I know,
You've
nigga.
been tortured your entire life. That's insane. Let's go back to this white man we talking about though. Like what went wrong that you was like, fuck it, let me give a white man a try?
Black men don't be checking for me. Yeah, black men don't be checking for me. It's something, and I'm not the only one. There are often black women who are trying to date, specifically in Knoxville, we could say East Tennessee. The amount of black men that are available is very low.
Good black men or just black men in general?
Black men in general. The amount of good black men is even lower.
Yeah.
The amount of good, unattached black men who like black women, that's like 15. That's
like period or percent?
15 people. Like,
oh shit.
Here's the thing. It gotta be more than that. I just don't know these niggas.
When you say black men that like black women, are you saying like that like exclusively like black women or black like what do you mean?
When black men who love black women.
Right.
Black men who champion for black women. Right. Black men who are just like, black women are the queens of the earth and this is what I want. I'm not saying you have to worship me. I'm saying that you have to understand the power in black women.
Right.
And a lot of the times people don't understand the power of black women, so they get intimidated by us and they try and demean us. They try and humble us, put us in our place, put us down or whatever. I'm not looking for that type of relationship.
Understandable.
I'm looking for a man who sees my power and is not intimidated by that.
I can dig it. The way I see it, man, like I share the same sentiments. I love black women. The daughter of my child is black. My mom is black. You feel me? I love black women. Every time I go out on a date with a black woman, I'm applying pressure. You feel me? Like I love black women. But that being said, I don't see anything wrong with fucking a white bitch every time.
Yeah. But that's because, like, look at the environment that you're in. You are how black men in Cincinnati would treat white girls.
What do you mean?
Like they were exotic.
I don't see him as exotic.
No. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that the white women see you as the exotic.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So it's a lot easier. You could probably go out there and get a 9-10 bad white bitch.
But here's the thing, though. The thing about white women, though, is like there's the thing is like I'm not the type of nigga like, oh, I only think black women are beautiful. I think all women are beautiful. You feel me? If you fine, you fine. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is like the thing about white women who check for black men usually are the ones that white men don't want.
Yeah.
You feel me? So it's like of course you have like there's different calibers of white bitches. You feel me? You got your Taylor Swift white bitches. Those girls are gonna go for your whitewashed black man. You know what I'm saying? Or light skinned niggas.
Yeah, very Carlton.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You feel me? They're very much a white lady, but you know they're just dating a black guy. Then you have
to make
like
their daddy mad.
Exactly. Then you have like the white women that aren't ugly, but they're not top 10, you feel me? They look good, but white men just don't want them, you feel me? And you know, but they like black men, you feel me? And you know, usually there's really cool people. Then you got like your straight raggedy white bitches that'll just you know, and we all in this room have raggedy white bitches that exclusively fuck black men, you feel me? And those are typically like, you know, your overweights, your Cookie Monster pajamas type of deal, you know.
Cookie Monster pajamas is diabolical.
Am I wrong?
Why did I just transport
Devin, that dude, you're a white man, so I'm pretty sure you've seen all these different archetypes of white women. Exactly.
Oh, that used to be white.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You feel me? So it's like, you know what I mean? But it's like that being said, you know what I mean? As a black, like in my dating preference, you feel me? I don't have like a particular preference. Like I only date black. I only date.
See,
but like when it comes to like serious like dating, like I've only seriously dated black women. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But like I have had sex with white women plenty of times.
So, I think that I was raised around all black men.
Right.
Like black men have always been tea for me, and there was a lot of things that I had to dispel about white people in general before I started dating white men. Right. And I had to find the right white man too for it to be my first time, because I refused to be in a relationship with somebody who I feel unsafe around, and a lot of these white men are very unsafe. Yeah. So I'm like, I found one, like me and him actually bonded over like social political shit about like the disparagement of black women in society and how like what he does to combat that. This motherfucker is so much of an ally to women that he about to get a vasectomy. Yeah, I've never heard of a black man going that far just to be like, you know what, solidarity, y'all, the government's trying to regulate y'all.
Could that be considered pick-me behavior?
Is it pick me behavior?
So much, I'm gonna cut my nuts off.
Hey, I picked them, so maybe I don't know.
No,
it worked.
Like, when you say like you felt safe around, you feel me? Like the main reason why I don't see myself in a committed relationship with a white woman is because like I don't see me relating to her on a level of that nature when it comes to like she's not going to ever understand my plight as a black man.
Nope.
She may like have sympathy for me, may think she understands, you feel me?
But she'll never understand.
You're still a white woman in America, you know what I mean? You hold a different place.
How does your mama feel about that? Does your mama ever do the like if she can't use your comb, don't bring her home?
I actually just heard that phrase for the first time over the weekend.
Oh, word from your mama?
From my mama, yeah. Like, my mama's never like she definitely has told me, you feel me, like she prefers that I date a black woman, you feel me? But it's like I just feel like throughout my experience dating, like I can't expect a white woman to know anything about black hair or
she'll learn though. You find the right white woman.
But it's not the same though. It's not the same. It's experiences we as black people go through like throughout life. You feel me? That's just like only we understand.
And then when you experience something out in the world and they can either see it with you or you tell them about it, they won't understand why you take it so hard.
Exactly.
Why you like, so I understand that completely. I've only ever seen myself like really being in committed relationships with black men for that reason. But that's also the reason why I've never like seriously dated a woman of any race. because there are things that I feel like there are very specific that black men provide me with that I don't think that I would get in a romantic relationship with a woman.
Like a penis.
Wait a minute. First of all, I got enough penises for us all, okay? I'll strap a bitch in a minute.
Here's the thing about like lesbian, like I feel like dating a woman, going from a man to a woman is like the ultimate cheat code, because it's like when it comes to that, because like when I feel like women, y'all know what women want. Because you're a woman, you feel me? So like you have that advantage, and plus you have a dick that does not go soft
at all. No nerve endings.
So it's like, how can I compete with that?
You can't. You gotta be a better nigga. Yeah.
Exactly. I have to be a better man. These studs out here are fucking up the game.
Yeah. And like women are much more passionate,
right,
and much more sensual when it comes to intimacy, and that's what makes it fun about being with women. Like men just trying to get their dick sucked. They just trying to get their rocks off.
Have you ever got your dick sucked before?
No.
It's amazing. It's amazing. If you could switch roles and get your dick sucked one time, Brandi, I swear to God,
the first thing that I would do. Like if I ever woke up with a dick, like as a man, like
I have to get it sucked.
Very much.
I have to get it sucked.
Yeah. Never mind.
What?
Nothing. Let's keep going.
Why is seeing after
Hey man. No, moving on, man. So boom. So with having kids, what is dating like as with teenagers?
Okay. So dating with teenagers is a lot easier than dating like when I met my my ex-husband here in Tennessee, and my kids were young, my like 2 and 6 ish. So that was much harder because I don't want no man in my house.
Valid.
That was like, that was a really hard like barrier to overcome for us or whatever. But he was a whole big nerd, and like I felt very safe around him, and my kids could talk. You know, that was a big thing for him because I was abused a lot as a kid, and a lot of it happened when I couldn't talk so. I'm like, I felt safe with him in my house, and then that just didn't work out. But now with them older, it's like I'm like, sometimes I don't even know if they there. Like, if my kids are around.
Right.
Like, yeah, I'm like, the dog, I worry more about the dogs than I worry about the kids. Like, are they going to like the dogs?
Yeah.
You'll never meet my kids. Probably. Like, you'll never meet my sons.
Right.
But does Megan and Bear like you?
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
That's who you'll probably
That's
be
what
around.
really matters.
Yeah.
I got you.
And but I tell them, my youngest son, I don't think that he care about that, but I try and have a very sex positive household because I don't want them to think that sex is wrong. It's not immoral. It's not bad. You have to do it safely. Right. It's something, and you have to do it consensually. And with me raising like 2 boys, and we can get more into that, like the intricacies of that.
Yeah.
But specifically with my 16-year-old, I'm like, sex is consensual.
The butter my pancakes, nigga?
The butter my pancakes, nigga. The chef.
At least he asked
chef.
if he could do it.
Yeah, consent.
Right.
Consensual. So me and him have a lot more conversations about, or I try to have more conversations with him about it, but he's still pretty standoffish. My oldest son, he is very open to about a lot of things, but my older son is a unique nigga in his own right. Right. Because my oldest son is trans. Gotcha. And he's been trans since... He started his transition when he was like 11, and he was like non-binary, and we did those gender games with him for a few years until he was like, I don't want to be here anymore. I don't want to be alive. I want to leave like right now. Right. I'm like, why the fuck you want to leave me? I ain't did shit to you. Like, and he was like, no, I can't be in this body. I don't feel safe in this body. I don't feel who I am in this body. So I got him into therapy. And that's when he came out as non-binary. And I was like, okay, that makes sense, because anybody that knows my son Morgan knows that he's never been a traditional girl's girl. He's never been a pink frill. Like anytime like you see old pictures of him, I cringe because I'm like, I forced him into that dress. Right. I forced him braids, and he didn't want to do none of that shit from jump. Never was a doll player, nothing. So it's like the signs had always been there, and I just hadn't seen it. So now with him, like, he's fully transitioned. He's 19. He had top surgery. He's been on testosterone or whatever. Because of him going through his transition and how open we had to be about that, I feel a lot more open to talking about, like, anything with him. Like, he's the one I talked to about smoking weed, like about me smoking weed. He don't smoke. He's a very good kid.
Right.
Like, he don't really leave the house or do nothing. But I talked to him about my relationships. I talked to him about my ex, and he was like, he broke up with you because you didn't want to. That doesn't make sense. I was like, I know.
Right.
Like, that's some crazy shit. So, me and him, we have a very deep communicative relationship.
I feel it. And that's one thing that I really respect about your story, especially when you joked about it in your comedy, because my brother is gay. You know, he came out when he was like 10 or 11 years old, you know, and that was like a huge, like, I wouldn't say bombshell, but like adjustment for everybody, you know, because we never had anyone gay in our family as far as we know, you know what I mean? So it was like, you know, for my mom, for, you know, so it was just like, you know, how do we go about this? You know, we want to make sure it's still my brother, you know what I mean? Because the thing about it, I feel like in the black community, when it comes to especially LGBTQ issues, you're either Dwayne Wade or you're Boosie.
Or you Boosie.
You feel me?
You don't know nobody want to be Boosie.
Exactly. You know, and that's one thing I feel like we've done for my brother is like created a safe space for him to be himself. You know what I mean? And that being said, like my mom is a very, very funny lady. You know, you remind me a lot of my mom actually, you feel me? And so it was like, we were just talking about this the other day, you know, first when we first found out, like, of course, how do we talk? He didn't tell, here's the thing. I didn't know, my brother didn't come to me with his sexuality until like he was like 15, but he had been out to my mom and my sister and everyone else like for about 2-3 years before that. I had found out because I went home came home from college one weekend. My sister was like, yeah, mom found the text messages and all that, you feel me? But I didn't want to confront him about it. I wanted him to come to me in my own time, you feel me? But what had got me was like when I knew he was gay, but like, you know, but I was still asking him, I'm like, you know what I'm saying? So I want to hear from him. So I'd be like, so what's up with the girls? You feel me? Because he'd always be hanging out with girls, you know what I mean? And so I remember one time he came back. He was like, man, this girl keeps asking me for my number, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, so why don't you give it to her? He said, she's not my type. You know? And
simple.
Exactly. So it was like, you know, and I feel like maybe, you know, I've always been a very like macho, you know, guy, you feel me, ladies man, you feel me, so maybe he just didn't feel like I would understand or something like that. But like once he came to me and was like start telling me about his boy troubles, like I was like, oh shit, this is real, you know what I mean? So but like it's taken a lot for me to just like do research and you know talk to like other gay people in the community, you know what I mean, because I don't want to like mess up and say something around him that will like offend him or make him feel like he can't trust me. And that's my brother, you feel me? And a lot of people be like, oh, you know, how you feel about your brother? I don't give a fuck, you feel me? That's still my brother.
That's
you know what I'm saying? So it's like
that's what like how I end my set, like, because people like literally ask me like, you know, isn't it weird that your son is trans? And I'm like, I would much rather have a transgender son than a dead daughter.
Exactly. And that's the thing, it's like at the end of the day, that's still Michael. I don't give a fuck who he dates, kids on, you feel me? I'm not doing it. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't make him any less Michael. You feel me? So
I'm
like,
not doing a bending. Like,
exactly. I really don't give a damn. You feel me? Now, am I going to ask about the details of his dating life? Absolutely not.
I don't care. That ain't none of my
Absolutely
business.
not. I don't need to know all that. You feel me? But at the same time, you feel me? It's like that's still my nigga. You feel me? We can get on the game, all that. You feel me? And he's a very like dudely dude. You know what I mean? He definitely.
Guess what? He just gay. It
exactly.
Make him like
you feel me? Like he had
an alien.
Exactly. Like he has his flares. You feel me? He paints his nails. You feel me? You can tell in his voice. You feel me? But it's just like he's still. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know, so like that's one thing, you know, that I like to see black people embracing, you know, their children and providing a safe place for their children when they're going through things like that, because a lot of people don't have that support system. Now, that being said, with you being a comedian, at what point did you feel comfortable, did both of you all feel comfortable for you to start joking about it?
I had played around with the story. I had just played around with telling a story a few times and on stage at an open mic or whatever, and then I was like, I think the reason why I wasn't comfortable with it because I hadn't talked to him about it, and I felt like I was telling our business. So I went to talk to him, and I sat him down and I ran it through, and he was like, that's fine, it's not funny, but it's fine.
It's not like, funny, but it's fun.
So then I had to make it funny, and I did. And then I did it at another mic, and my actual closer for that joke is like, do you want me to take your tail or your dick in my fanny pack or whatever? But I had just said it as a just as a riff one day on stage, and one of my friends, Clinton, he was like, yo, that Talia dick, that's funny as fuck.
Right.
And that became the closer to my joke. And then I told that to him, and he was like, okay, now that's funny.
Right, yeah.
That's funny.
Right.
So, yeah, he's kind of helped me build the joke.
Gotcha. That's how it is with Mike, you feel me? Because now we don't, like, make fun of him, but we get some off. You know what I mean? And he be joking about it too. You know what I mean? It's just like, I feel like once you, like we was talking about earlier, you feel me? Like fat people. You know what I mean? Joking about how fat they are. You know what I mean? Like once you like, yeah, I'm gay. And you know, cool. Let's joke about it. You feel me? Like, you know, we don't care. It's not a problem. You feel me? And I feel like you have to, like, but you got to build to that.
Yeah.
You know, for sure. Speaking of more things about your personal touch and your comedy, you also speak about being affected by drugs growing up.
Yeah.
You know, and that's another thing I resonated with as well, because, you know, I had a lot of family members on my end suffer with addiction as well, and that's a very painful thing to experience and watch. So that being like, how were you able to find the beauty and humor in something as serious as that?
It took a lot of pain. I had to work through a lot of pain. It took a lot of years and therapy, honestly, to get through it, to be able to speak about it and just not cry, just not bawl about thinking about all the things I've gone through, all the things my mama put me through, like with her being on substances, like multiple substances growing up.
Right.
And so, yeah, it took me to like really process it as a person, like as an adult, and then kind of start working it in. I don't have a lot about my mother. Like I don't have a lot about my ex-husband.
Right.
Just because it's still things that I'm still processing.
Right.
Things that they still cause me pain when I think about it.
Right.
But the things that I have, like, you know, just making a joke about my mom being a crackhead, you know, like she moved us from Jersey to Cincinnati because she was tired of there being like crack vials on the ground.
Right.
But then when we got to Cincinnati, she forgot to take the crack out of her purse. So
right. The crack was cheap.
She actually introduced crack to the city.
Right.
Like, so like stuff like that. But it's like there are things that I want to talk about. Specifically like with my mom and her substance abuse and like how she would treat us, that because I know that it would help other people, just because I know how the story of my trans son affects people.
Right.
The story about my titties affects people, you know? I think that speaking about that specific type of abuse will help people, like, you know, help people navigate their stuff, but I'm still like, it's still painful.
No,
it's a poem, not a joke.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I feel that 100% because like that's one thing I have realized that I was doing subconsciously, was like taking everything that was like traumatic to me and just like making it a joke. Feel like when I was 17, I witnessed a murder, you know, and for the longest, like from the point where it happened until like around this year, every time I would tell the story about how it happened and everything that, you know, in that whole situation, I would just make it funny, you know what I mean? Just like the way I would tell the story, people I would always get laughs, you know what I mean? But people always be like, damn, that's kind of fucked up. I'm like, I'll be all right. It wasn't until like this year where it was like my brain plugged in and was like, yo, that was actually not cool at all, you know? Yeah. And so with you saying like you had to like work through the pain first, like were you like doing that in reverse, for like crying through it and then laughing about it? Like what was that process like?
I think it's just that is the process, you know, just crying through it, processing it, trying to heal from it, and then trying to find the funny in it, you know, like the little moments of light, little moments of joy that you can take out of it, and then make into like a bit or a set or something. But I think, like I said, I'm still just trying to heal from the hurt, because my mom passed in like 2017, and there was a lot of like unresolved things that we did. But like my mom passed with me having her blocked on Facebook.
Oh shit.
Like, and she had been blocked for years. Like my mama was reckless. She was mean as hell to me. Like she would get on Facebook and cuss me out. And this is before you could stop people from posting on your wall. Like if you notice, can't nobody post nothing on my wall. Right. And that's because of my mama from years ago. Like you know, we talking about like 2013. Like, and I never changed it back. But I'm like, once she died, it wasn't even like I was mourning the death of my mother, because I felt like I had already mourned that relationship. That had already happened. Me and my mother's relationship were never going to be good again. Right. I was mourning what I thought we could achieve later. Right. I was mourning like the idea of ever having a good relationship with my mom. I'm like, oh, now I'll never be able to do it. You know? But I'm like, once I got past that, I'm like, I can still have that relationship with my mama, and that's kind of what I'm working on now. Like just a bit about developing a relationship, like how it's so much easier to talk to my mama now that she dead. Like you know, like she can't do nothing but listen to me.
Nah, facts. I feel like that's a great point, you know, because like you said, mourning what could have been. That's something a lot of people I feel like don't think about. You know, you get caught up in whether it be a person who's passed on or a relationship that ended, you know, that you're really invested in. You mourn like, damn, we could have done this, we could have went to the moon. You know, like what do you think is like the steps to take to process those feelings, you know, because it's like, it's not like it could happen, you know what I mean? So it's like, how do
you got to realize that you got to realize that it could never be what you thought it was in your head, so you got to let that go, because that's a trauma that you'll try and hold on to, that's a hope that you'll hold on to, and it'll become a hindrance for whatever else you're trying to do. You know, it could be a hindrance in another relationship or a job or a goal that you're trying to accomplish, so you got to let that go. And then what I had to start doing was like really thinking about the good things, because oftentimes, like, you know how people say like people don't ever leave good reviews, but if somebody has a fucked up service, they're gonna leave that negative review. They're going straight to Yelp. Oftentimes as people, when we think of other people, other things that happen, we think about the bad parts. We think about like all the negative things. And what I've been challenging myself to do is think about the positive stuff. Because my mom was a dope ass one. My mother was a panther. Okay, like my mom was out in these streets. She was a taxi driver in New York City, bad bitch. Like like
that's turn.
So she was out there. She lived a very full life, and she wasn't just a crackhead. And I don't want people to think that my mom was just a crackhead, but that's what I've been telling people for years. Like, oh, my mom was a crackhead. And I was like, yeah, but she was also like the sole provider for us for a long time. Like, she raised two like wonderful women. Like, you know, even through all of her struggles, like very much a dear mama type of moment. Like,
I got you. That is a very much dear mama. She's a Black Panther.
Very much.
I got you. So, moving forward, you got you were telling us earlier you have some dates in Arkansas lined up. It seems like your comedy career is definitely on the uptick. Where do you see yourself going in 5 years, 10?
5 to 10 years, I hope to be headlining clubs. I really do hope to be headlining clubs. But my main goal, I want to write. I know that I'm a really good writer. I've always been a really good writer. So I want to write for like late night. I don't think I could do daytime, but I have a late night mind.
Oh,
Very much a SNL type thing. Not necessarily SNL. Like, I would love to do something like In Living Color.
Oh, yeah, that'd be
like,
awesome.
Like, write for In Living Color, a show that's like In Living Color.
We got to bring those back, man.
There is I don't know how much I can say. There's a group that's working on it, and I actually have a contract.
Oh, shit.
There's some shit that might be in the works.
Gotcha.
But that's what I really want to do. I really want to write. But as far as like my stand-up career goes, I want to be headlining. I want to headline clubs. And yes, because it's something that I want to do, and I know that that's the trajectory that I'm on. But also, so many people have told me that I couldn't. So many people, like people that I love dearly, like as far as like my comedy friends and family, they're like, you're not a headliner, you'll never be a headliner, and these are people that I love, and I'm like, damn, fuck you, so it's like, now I gotta be a headliner.
You gotta stun on them. You gotta stun on them. That's something I was just talking to my mom about that the other day. Is like I realized that a lot of my drive and to succeed was fueled by a burning desire to stun on niggas.
My weight loss, I was like at the top of the year, this time last year I was 320 pounds. Oh wow. Yeah, and then I bought a Peloton for myself for Christmas, and I've been hitting that bitch. I got a 52-week streak going.
Okay.
I have lost a substantial amount of weight, and it's all because these niggas ain't shit. Like, these...
You gotta stun on them. You gotta stun on them.
These niggas
facts. It's like, and the same thing as you feel me is like growing up, people used to always tease me about my voice, you know, and like I swear to God.
Damn,
I swear to God.
The voice of the city.
Exactly. I mean, we all hear how I sound. You feel me? Outside of this context, it's hilarious. Thank you, I appreciate it. But I'm saying, no, you feel me? And like on the street, you feel me? Come on now, you know, I know what it is. You know what I mean? But it was like just being able, like, God blessed me with this. It was a blessing, you know what I mean? And it's like when I was a kid, I would try to like speak very low. You feel me? People, like, I used to always get told to speak up, and then when I speak up, You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like now when people tell me to speak up, I can still get kind of mad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it was like, so it was like using that, or people telling me I was too small to be a cute. Just like all these things people.
Damn, you did it all too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? All the things people told me that I couldn't do, you feel me? Like I went out and did that shit times 100. You feel me? And I was talking to my mom. I was like, people are still like doubting me. People, I'm still getting this. I'm still getting, blah blah blah. And she was like, why don't you start doing things for you? They gonna hate regardless.
Yeah.
No,
and that's real.
And she was like, think about it. Like, you've accomplished all this stuff over the years. You've done X, Y, and Z, and these niggas are still not giving you a credit. These niggas are still fuck them. They gonna hate regardless.
Fuck them.
You feel me? If all you've accomplished was not enough to get the haters,
we all die at the end of this.
Exactly.
Fuck 'em.
You feel me? It's like if all you've accomplished up to this point was still not enough to get the haters to respect you. What are we doing it for?
I honestly don't think that you got enough niggas hating on you. I think
I
that
need
you
more.
need more haters. Like, honestly, like I
You
feel
think
like,
me personally or just in general?
Just in general and everybody. But
Yeah.
I think that you need more haters.
We were just saying that like a couple weeks ago. I was like, I'm too likable.
Yeah.
I'm too likable. But no, like that actually feel me. But like when she said that, like opened up my eyes, like damn, like I'm doing all this to show people, like to prove people wrong. Like what about just proving me right? Like you ever think about like what that was your comment, like you said, people told you couldn't headline it. Like, do you think once you get to that level, when you get to that level, do you think it will fulfill more of a like I told them, or I knew I could do it?
I knew I could do it. I knew I could do it. It is like, yes, I told them or whatever, but I knew I can do what they said that I couldn't. Because what's real, I headline now, but
Right.
what they're saying, what they said specifically, you don't headline clubs. You shouldn't call yourself a headliner. You headline breweries. And I'm like,
Still headlining?
nigga, that's what I thought. This is coming from a motherfucker who don't headline nothing.
Exactly.
I'm like, damn. That's something. I'm like, okay, now I'm gonna do this just to show you that I can do it,
Right.
because I know who I am and I know what there has never been anything that I've really wanted to do or really wanted to have that I didn't get.
2025 is here. What can we
Yeah.
expect for Brandi Augustus at the top of the year?
Top of the year, January 8th through 11th, I will be doing my first club feature spot on my way to headliner. First feature spot at the Looney Bin in Little Rock, Arkansas. And then in February 26th through the 2nd, I'll be in New York City doing Black Women in Comedy Laugh Festival. It's the third year that's ever been a thing. So excited for that. Excited to like do comedy in NYC.
That's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, and I have like gigs, like standard like one-off gigs, like all throughout the region or whatever. But those are the two big things that's upcoming that I'm super excited about.
Gotcha. Well, Brandi, congratulations on everything. I feel like I met you at the Vintage Market like 2 years ago.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it
Shout
seems
out to
like-
Ricky.
Right, shout out to Ricky, man. It seems like ever since I met you, like I've just been seeing you everywhere. It's like
Yeah,
one of the things.
same.
Like, you get a car, you start seeing that car.
Everybody,
Exactly,
where everybody
you know?
get a Dodge? Wait a
Exactly,
minute.
So like I said, like I've always thought you were a very funny lady. You remind me a lot like my mom. She's very funny, single mom as well. So it's like when I'm watching you, I'm like, damn, this is like my mom. I don't think I want to hear her say some of the things you say. but no, it's like I feel like I'm at home when I'm talking to you.
Good,
You feel me? So it's like
good.
I can't wait to see everything that comes in fruition where you in the future. You
Thank
gonna be
you.
headlining.
Same. I'm gonna be
You're gonna
headlining.
be headlining.
Yeah.
Most definitely. Well, why don't you let the people know where they can find you on social media, all your stuff.
Brandi Augustus, BrandiAugustus. That is my Instagram. That is my website, brandiaugustus.com. Just type in Brandi. I'm literally the only Brandi Augustus to ever exist. Shout out to my ex-husband, fuck your daddy.
Oh, you still got his name?
Still got that
Oh,
nigga
shit.
name. Augustus.
You like Tina Turner.
Nigga, like, I'm keeping my name, okay?
Oh, dead. That's what's up, though. That's what's
Yeah.
up, though. Well, boom. Make sure y'all tap in with Brandi Augustus. Like I said, the funniest lady in Tennessee, the funniest lady in the South, man. She's going to make big waves. Next Monique, some more, all that. Put her on the
Next Brandi Augustus.
next Brandi Augustus. Fuck all that. She the
Yeah.
next Brandi Augustus. You know what I'm talking is. Appreciate your time once again. I had a good time with you tonight, man. And if you made it this far, thank you very much for tapping tapping into the coolest podcast in the South, YSN Radio. Make sure you get you some merch. These icy white hoodies still going crazy on the website, ysnradio.com/shop. Check out all the other episodes anywhere you get your podcast from, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, anywhere you stream from. If you're watching, like, comment, subscribe on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram, YSN Radio 1, TikTok, YSN Radio, all that jazz. Thanks again to Brandi Augustus. Thank you at home for watching. Until next time, same place. It's the coolest podcast in the South, YSN Radio. Let's go!